Hello, this is Julie Fast from bipolarhappens.com and juliefast.com. I'm the author of Loving Someone with Bipolar Disorder, Take Charge of Bipolar Disorder, Get It Done When You're Depressed, and the Health Cards Treatment System for Bipolar Disorder. Today I'm going to talk about bipolar disorder and psychosis. I've been dealing with psychosis for the last couple of weeks and I just can't figure out where it's coming from, what's triggering it, and why I'm going through it. One of the first things I do when I'm having psychotic symptoms is I look at supplements to see if I've tried something new, like some kind of supplement maybe for sleep, etc., that could be causing psychosis. I have to be really careful about supplements. And so far, I can't really see anything that's going on externally that could be causing this psychosis. I have bipolar disorder, but I also have a psychotic disorder, which means my diagnosis is schizoaffective disorder. So I guess I'm just experiencing psychosis because it's part of my illness. What is it like to be psychotic? Well, my psychosis is mild right now, and it took me a while to catch it. I tend to have paranoid psychosis, which is the most common form of psychosis. And that's where you just feel like people just are out to get you. Or it's interesting. Paranoid psychosis, maybe a better way to explain it is it involves two things. Either you feel like people are out to harm you or that people are ignoring you. So I have the kind of paranoid psychosis where I feel that my friends aren't calling me, they're not interested in me, I'm not a part of their lives, I do not fit in, I don't fit into society. That's the kind of paranoia I get. I also get the kind of paranoia that things have been tampered with or that someone's watching me or following me, but they're a little more rare. This is just typical psychosis. I want to talk about this naturally because I don't think we talk about psychosis enough, and many people with bipolar disorder do experience psychosis. In fact, statistically, 70% of people who are manic in a full-blown episode are also psychotic. That's why so many people who go to the hospital are manic and psychotic at the same time. I've been psychotic all my life, all my adult life. My psychosis started at 16. And this time, I'm having that out-of-body experience that can come with psychosis where you feel a little bit unreal. The best way to describe it, it's as though you're watching yourself live your life. I've decided to just examine it and observe it right now. I know that I'm mildly psychotic. I did take my lithium today. Lithium, though it's not an antipsychotic, helps with mood swings. And so if I can get my mood swings down, hopefully it'll bring this psychosis down. I'm not able to take antipsychotics as I would take them if I could, but I have too many side effects. So you get a feeling of dissociation, like you're not real, that you're maybe involved in something that is a bit unreal, like being filmed in a movie, or that your life doesn't really have meaning, or that you're lightweight and you're not really rooted in yourself. So psychosis is a feeling that you're not part of who you are. That's why I say that psychosis is disintegration. So one of the goals that I have when I'm psychotic is to integrate back into my body. That means being with people instead of isolating, being with my family members, laughing, having fun, doing normal things throughout the day instead of starting to live in a fantasy life. I can get very into reading about serial killers and all kinds of murder and crime scenes and a lot of things like that when the psychosis is raging. I try to get myself into the mind of people who maybe have committed crimes when I'm psychotic. This is not healthy. I am honest about it because I don't think we are honest enough about our own mental health symptoms. If you are a loved one of somebody who gets psychotic, you know how weird we can be. So it's important, I think, that I'm honest with people that here I am, Julie Fast, the author of 7 books on mental health disorders, and yes, I get psychotic. I have a lot of symptoms that I find embarrassing and difficult to control. I manage them as best I can, but over the last couple of weeks, I've definitely noticed that bipolar has been quite strong. I'm lucky because I have a plan in place. That's what I talk about in all of my books. It doesn't mean that my bipolar disorder goes away. It's definitely here, but it means that I don't take it out on other people. I'm still able to do some of my work. I do not let it affect my judgment. I'm very careful about that, but I do observe it. I've reached a point now after 20 years of managing this illness that I can step to the side and say, that's what bipolar is doing to me. So I need to reintegrate. I need to get myself healthy. I need to come back to who I am so that my symptoms do not get too much control over me. If you have bipolar disorder, it's essential that you learn to do this, because this is an illness that sits on top of us, tells us what to think and say and do. And if we don't know who we are, we'll give in to the symptoms and they become a little bit too real. So once again, psychosis is a break with reality that involves hallucinations and delusions. I'm not really hallucinating right now. Hallucinating is visual, so it has to do with seeing things, hearing things, smelling things, tasting things, and having the sensation of touch of things that actually aren't there. I instead am having delusions, and those are false beliefs. And that's just the belief that something's happening that's not happening, feeling that maybe I'm not a real human being. For other words, delusions can make you think that maybe you are an alien inhabiting your body. I know it's a bit uncomfortable for people to hear me talk about this, because I think everybody wants me to be the person who doesn't have all these symptoms because I'm the one who writes the books. And what I'm here to tell you is that if you have bipolar disorder like I do, and especially if you have schizoaffective, which means you have a psychotic disorder, let's get real about our psychosis. I'm not psychotic very often anymore. It was very serious for me for quite a few years, but I've learned to manage it better. But right now, it's time for me to figure out what's going on, figure out what's triggered it, take my meds that I can take, get plenty of sleep, and get stable and reintegrate into my body and mind so that I can manage my own bipolar disorder. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not experiencing psychosis, but if you are, get some help. It's uncomfortable. It can lead to a lot of problems in our relationships. It requires either medications or a very strong management plan. Have a great night. Bye-bye.